cadet. She was a cadet All-American. And Jake Svihel. Jake Svihel. Svihel. I got my fat guy here, Dennis Lemire, keeping me right.
Now on the whistle, we have Noah Clary from Ohio, a young official who does an excellent job. That's why he's on the finals.
Are the officials rewarded on being on the finals and things like this?
Okay. Absolutely.
So this is a big deal for some of these guys. Is this the first finals he's done?
It's the first time I've ever seen him.
He's done it.
This weekend is the first time I've ever seen him.
You've been impressed, huh?
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah. But he's a prodigy. His teachings come from Nick Mancini and Jimmy Spielman in Ohio.
Okay.
So he has two excellent
He's surrounded,
people teaching him how to do this art form.
You know, we're talking about people like that, and you got Justin Perch in the Illinois corner. You got Billy Pierce and Dennis over in the Minnesota corner. I mean, you're talking about guys that really do things the right way. You know, create good habits with these guys.
I've had 3 Illinois duels in this tournament, and they've been excellent. And I've had 2 Minnesota duels, and absolutely no problems.
Just to interrupt real quick, the Illinois kid was really frustrated, or the Minnesota kid was really frustrated, and the coaching staff goes, "It's going to be fine. You're going to get your chance on top next period." So.
Right. Trying to settle down his emotions so he can focus on what he's doing.
Boy, these guys with these long arms that can do these elbow-to-elbow gut wrenches, that's a whole different level.
It's a game changer.
I got those T-Rex arms, Danny, so I never had that. You got them, yeah. That was my test, though. If I couldn't go elbow-to-elbow on a girlfriend, she didn't get a second date. I got the great Danny Blackshear to laugh. I like it.
We have a caution and 2 on red.
Yeah,
a leg foul on the mat, so they're going to return on the mat in parterre.
So the new position in parterre, not new, but relatively new, is the bottom guy starts flat, top guy starts on the side, touches, and then you go, right?
Right. 2 knees down on one side, hands on the shoulder blades. False starts are non-existent.
Yeah, that's good, right? And that's You guys don't want to be calling that stuff.
No.
I mean, people are losing matches based on dropping too fast. And then that's when you're that even, that's a horrible criteria,
Absolutely.
All right, so just like that, we're 5-5. And all else being equal, blue will probably get a chance to be on top the second period based on the caution of 1 for red. But with that many points, too, it's a lot less likely to be called, right?
Less likely. They're going to score more points.
Oh, well, this guy got knocked unconscious.
Medical.
Athletic trainer at 2, please. Athletic trainer at number 2. At 2, please.
That guy's over there. We got to get him. He's over there talking.
And one thing we do here, we don't like to start injury time and blood time until the trainer gets to the mat.
Yeah,
it helps us keep them in the match. Err on the side of the athlete and get this match completed. What's his name? Paulson's dad. Dennis.
Yeah, so we got Dennis Paulson in the corner right now.
Excellent coach.
Really good coach. His nature, his level of calmness is really something.
Crazy.
So while we've got a break here, let's see if... No, he's just going to spit on the mat. Looks like he's going to be okay.
So in high school, that would be unsportsmanlike conduct. Here we don't really care. We care, but we don't care.
Sure. Well, and Billy Pierce is one of the, the long, heavy... Doug Paulson, not Dennis Paulson. So, yeah, I actually interviewed Coach Paulson last year after they had a hellacious dual meet win here in the finals. So, you see these same states year after year. Some of them really make a priority to get their best guys out, so.
Absolutely.
So we're back battling 5-5. Like you said, there's no way this thing ends up 5-5, right?
No, I don't think so. Our trainer out here, Dan Newman from Tulsa Union, is my pledge brother and roommate in college.
We're not going to hold that against him.
That's right.
We're going to assume he can do a good job anyway.
Excellent.
He's got some nice, and that's his shoe game is solid. I like that. So, all right, first period.
First period done, 5-5.
So while we have this break, why don't we explain ties? So right now, it's the highest point moves of anyone that had a 4. Then it's the most cautions. Is that correct?
Here's the way I like to say it. Biggest. How'd you say it on the phone
best,
call?
worst, last?
Best, worst, last.
You like that?
Best, worst, last. Yes.
I stole that. All right, shout out to Cornell Robinson. I stole that from him in St. Louis.
Best point means I scored a 5 and you didn't have any 5s, or I scored more 4s than you did, or more 2s, or point value, in other words, highest point value. If those are equal, we look at the worst. If somebody broke a rule and got a caution.
So in the caution of 1, does that count as the worst?
Well, caution 2.
No, the caution of 1 when they put him down to begin.
Caution 2 in Greco.
No, when they did the passivity of 1 when they put him down.
Okay, passivity's not a caution.
Not a caution. Okay, that's a
good point.
He got a
caution for a leg foul.
So that does count.
Yes.
So Red's losing because now the score is different, but
right. Okay. And we're going to have a conference. So let's go back for a minute to 5-5. We had 5-5 and we had all 2s and 1s. I don't know exactly.
The order wouldn't have mattered because
the
one
order,
of them had
but
a caution.
If maybe somebody had 2 1s and the other had 1 1. I'm not sure. But
they were both 2-2-1.
2-2-1, and Red had a caution, so Blue would be winning if the match would have ended at that point.
And at the international and big matches, you see those guys underlined.
Yes.
Now, if there hadn't been that, then it would have been whoever scored last in that series.
Yes, it's everything is equal. Oh, now we have a game changer. But if everything's equal, then the last point scored, the last technical point, and we have a blue challenge. The confirmed call was caution blue to Red for a defensive leg foul. And they're challenging. There seems to be some confusion from the coach on what was called.
So while we've got a second, because these breaks have taken a minute, we've got Robbie Vincent here as the CEO of College Wrestler Recruiting. Robbie, we're actually partnering up with you this coming March for the Minnesota Border Brawl. This is something Danny's been a part of, helping us out with the Missouri Border Brawl. And Robbie has to come on because he actually stole my cell phone charger. But on a side note, no, for real. So, Danny's a veteran. We're raising money for veterans with amputations. The Randy Couture, the 501c3, the Extreme Couture GI Foundation. And with Minnesota being in this, they've got a ton of hammers. Tell us a little bit about, your excitement level for the Minnesota Border Brawl and what College Wrestler Recruiting is looking at.
I tell you, we came up to the Missouri Border Brawl this year that you did at the Kansas City Union Station. It was incredible.
Cool venue.
Yeah, very awesome venue. And I just, from that point on, I was like, we've got to be involved with it. And you had mentioned the Minnesota Border Brawl, bringing some of the top Missouri high school kids and some of the top kids from around the area, the other states, to kind of do a showcase duel. I mean, it's right in our wheelhouse of what we do of helping kids to get into the college wrestling area and get a great education along the way as well.
Yeah, well, I think all of us, wrestling's impacted our life in a truly positive way. So, the lessons we learn, from wrestling are carry over in life. And I think, what you guys are doing at College Wrestler Recruiting, I think what people need to understand is, the top 100 recruits in the country don't need that website, but it's for kids that need, we're going to come back to the action here. In caution and 2. They lost their challenge. And Sammy was trying to tell him, don't make that challenge.
He was in a paraphrased wording, yes, he was trying to say,
like, you're going to lose this one.
What's going to happen here, what we're calling. I think the confusion was the coach didn't think it was a leg foul they were calling. He thought it was maybe something like a negative
He
wrestling.
said he wanted something in an attention
with
first.
an intention, which leg fouls don't have an intention.
Right.
Direct to caution.
This is really good, though, because people don't watch Greco 12 months of the year. And so, a lot of times people think it's kind of like college football, like 1 foot in bounds versus 2, right? And, it's a catch. Like, no, it's not, or something like that. So Blue's got a battle back here. Got a minute 50 here. I tell you, I don't know if you saw the girls' duel, Danny, but Washington went up 15-0 and then 18-1, and the final score was 30-something to 19 Illinois. They went on a 39-1 run.
Wow.
And Washington was winning 2 matches by at least 6 points, and Illinois snapped them and headlocked them and pinned them. Wow. So, I mean, the duel, it ended up being a pretty substantial dual meet score, but it could have been a lot different.
We have Oklahoma and California over here in the third place match, and it looks like California's taking an early lead, 20-9.
We got a minute left here in the match. You know, the thing is, Blue did turn, so if he can get one takedown, you know, he's in the match.
One takedown with an arm trap, and
well, he gutted him even without the arm trap, so you know.
could have game over.
Yeah.
And
pulling on that head.
One of the things that's going on here is Red has scored 8 points. He doesn't have to do a lot other than control the center.
He has to present himself, right?
And strong defense. And now Blue has to get through his hands.
Yeah. It's a tough nut to crack when the guy knows he doesn't have to do anything except avoid negative wrestling.
Exactly. Well, even if he got a negative wrestling call, he's still ahead.
But if that margin goes away, you know, now the next thing you lose, you know.
We had an offer for negative wrestling from the whistle and white paddled from the chairman, which, let's talk about cautions for just a minute. There are 3 items in wrestling, in both freestyle and Greco-Roman, that, I'm just going to say it doesn't matter what the judge thinks, most of the time, but if a fall is asked for, or a passivity or a caution, the chairman must confirm it, not the judge. Now, the one time it's different is